Hello again, everyone. Happy Monday or Tuesday. Welcome to our content lesson for today. Our topic today is the Stereotype Survey, discussing its purpose and making predictions. A few announcements and reminders before we get started. When it comes to the gradebook, if you have any questions about your grades, past assignments, missing assignments, please send us an email, but make sure that you include the following information. Please put your full name into the email, what period you are in, and the assignment numbers for any assignments that you are asking about. It does not help us for you to say, "Can I make up that missing assignment?" when we have no idea what assignment you're talking about. Our Zoom meeting takes place 30 minutes after the start of class today. Don't forget that if you need to go back and rewatch any of the content lesson videos, you can access them through the Bitmoji Classroom. And tutoring is now available. You can find more information about that in your Class of Google Classroom. Our learning intention for today is to consider the real-life situations and circumstances of the students around us, and to produce writing that reflects the culture and climate of the world that we live in. Your success criteria is at the end of this unit, you will write an argumentative essay that reflects the culture and climate of the world we live in. Your writing is going to be better if you have a personal connection to it, and it isn't just something that you're being forced to do. Making a connection between what you are writing and the things that you live through and the things that happen in your world will help you to develop clearer and more important and relevant claims. So let's talk for a moment about the essay that you are going to have to do at the end of this unit. As I mentioned in our last Zoom meeting, you are going to be writing an argumentative essay that is based around the topic of stereotypes. However, your essay is not going to be about stereotypes in general. That is too broad of a subject. In your essay, you will address real-life problems that stereotypes are creating among the other students at this school. Now, you might be thinking, well, how do we know how the stereotypes are affecting our peers? Wouldn't we just be guessing at that? And yeah, you would be guessing if you just went out and said that they are a problem in the school. Unless you have them take a survey. We will give a survey to as many students at AVHS as we can in order to identify what kind of effect stereotypes are having on the student population. Now, in normal circumstances, you guys would be giving this survey out to your peers, and it would be a much more interactive experience. But obviously, that can't be the way it happens this year. But the survey is still going to be given to a very large number of students with the help of the other English teachers on campus. And the survey is designed to give us some very specific information that's going to help us develop a very specific claim. Because remember, the more clear and specific our claim is, the stronger it becomes. So let's take a look at the survey that's going to be completed. I'm going to explain to you what the purpose of the questions are and how we are going to use the results that we get from those questions. And pay close attention to how each question should be answered, because you guys are going to be the first ones to take the survey. When you open up the survey, this is the first thing that you are going to see. It contains information about the survey that the people taking it might want to know. First, it tells the student taking the survey why we are giving it to them and what purpose this survey has, that it is being used to gather data, which will be used in writing an argumentative essay. We also need to make sure that they understand it is anonymous, meaning no one is going to know what their answers are. The survey will collect their student emails, but I am going to be the only one who sees that. We also explain how the questions are going to ask about whether or not the student has been affected by stereotypes that are based on race and stereotypes that are based on gender. Those are the two major stereotypes that we are going to be basing our data on. It also explains how there is an optional question at the end. Optional, meaning the students can choose whether or not they want to answer it. The question asks them to describe an experience in which they were affected by a stereotype based on race or gender. Now, If you do not have an answer, if you do not have an experience where you are affected by a stereotype based on race or gender, then you can leave it blank. And also, if someone is not very familiar with how to recognize stereotypes or maybe needs to be reminded, then we have also included this video that you guys have already seen that helps define what a stereotype is. Now let's look at the questions. The first few questions on the survey are what we call demographic data. This is where we ask the students to tell us what their grade level is, their gender, and their ethnicity. These three pieces of information are how we are going to organize our data. We're going to look at the differences between each grade level, the differences between male and female, and the differences between the different ethnicities. Next, we see the actual questions that need to be answered. The first two are very similar. They say, I feel that I am judged based on gender stereotypes and based on ethnic or racial stereotypes. You'll notice that the answers range from strongly disagree to strongly agree. This means that someone who feels that they are not judged based on gender stereotypes would say that they strongly disagree. But if they feel that they are judged based on ethnic or racial stereotypes, they would say that they strongly agree. The next two questions are also very similar to each other. They say, I feel that people my own age judge me based on stereotypes, and I feel that adults judge me based on stereotypes. So if I were to say that I don't think people my own age judge me based on stereotypes, I would say a 1 for strongly disagree. But on the other hand, if I feel that adults judge me based on stereotypes, I would say a 4. But let's say maybe not strongly agree. Maybe I feel that it happens pretty often, but not all the time. So I might say a 3. The next two questions are also very similar to each other. They say, I feel that I am judged based on stereotypes at school and in the community. So at school and outside of school. Let's say that I feel that I am judged based on stereotypes at school a lot. I would say a 4 for strongly agree. And let's say that in the community, maybe it happens every now and then, but not very often. I might say a 2. And here we get into that last question. Describe a time when you felt you were judged based on a stereotype and how it affected you. This is an optional question that you do not have to answer if you do not want to. And then after you click submit, your survey response is recorded. So your introductory assignment is to go to the classwork tab in Google Classroom and find the assignment number 27, Stereotype Survey. You will complete this survey as your introductory assignment. It is worth credit in the gradebook, and you need to complete it soon because you will not be able to go back and complete this survey for credit. Once it is locked later on in the week, it will not be unlocked. And don't forget that our Zoom takes place 30 minutes after the start of class. See you there.